I want to talk to you today about the importance of being unreasonable. You heard me right. I said the importance of being unreasonable. In 1940, a poor little black girl named Wilma was born prematurely in racially divided Tennessee. She was the 20th of 22 children. Obviously, being born African American during segregation, in poverty, and prematurely, she was sickly. She had the measles. She had the chicken pox. She had scarlet fever, which I can tell you personally can kill you. She had polio, which did almost kill her. Polio left her left leg twisted and paralyzed. Born into this environment, one would probably be unreasonable to think she could survive, much less thrive. But her mother was very, very unreasonable. So she took her daughter to the hospital. The hospital would not admit her because, of course, she was black. Being unreasonable, Mrs. Rudolph waited every day from open till close at the hospital for a doctor to come out and see her daughter. After about a week, one finally did. The doctor told her, "Your daughter will never walk again. There's nothing that can be done. However, you could do some massages on her legs 4 or 5 times a day, and that might relieve some of the pain." By the way, there's a colored hospital 50 miles down the road that you can go to. And if you come back here again, we're having you arrested. Mrs. Rudolph, being unreasonable, did go to the racially segregated hospital 50 miles down the road on the segregated bus. The doctor there told her the same thing. Your daughter will never walk again, but you can relieve some of her pain by giving her 4 or 5 massages a day. Wilma's mother, who had no formal education, much less any medical training, was completely unreasonable. She convinced the doctors to make a special brace for her daughter and give her therapy 2 times a week in the completely unreasonable belief that she might someday walk again. Mrs. Rudolph did this 100-mile round trip twice a week on the bus with her daughter. This therapy that the doctors said would never work allowed her to walk again by age 9 with her brace. Learning from her mother, though, now it was Wilma's turn to be unreasonable. Against doctor's orders and her mother's, she threw away her leg brace, and by her 12th birthday, could walk without it. If the story stopped there, it would still be inspirational. But the story doesn't stop there. Because Wilma Rudolph was completely unreasonable, she decided to join the basketball team. Let's think about this for a second. Who wants a kid on their basketball team who just learned how to walk? However, the coach did want one of her sisters on the basketball team. Now it was her father's turn to be unreasonable. He told the coach that if you want one of my daughters, you get them both or you get none at all. Well, she didn't play that first year very much at all. But in her second year, she scored 803 points, or 40 points a game. Then Wilma decided she wanted to go out for the track team. Pretty unreasonable when she hadn't been able to walk 4 years before. So she went out for track at age 16. She never, ever lost a race in high school. Also at the age of 16, being unreasonable, she figured, why not try out for the Olympic team? She made it. And in the 1956 Melbourne Olympics, she won a bronze medal in the 4x100 relay. She trained for the 1960 Olympics and made that team too at 20 years of age. The day before her very first race, she stepped into a hole on the practice field and sprained her ankle. She decided to race anyway. Pretty unreasonable. The next day, she won the gold in the 100 meters. The day after that, she won the gold in the 200 meters and set the world record while running into the wind. And in the 400-meter relay, as the last runner, she turned a 2-meter deficit into a 3-meter win. And of course, won gold again on a sprained, discolored, fluid-filled ankle. She was the first woman in U.S. history to win 3 gold medals in the Olympics. What do we learn from Wilma Rudolph? Well, obviously we learned to be unreasonable. What if she had been reasonable and not run on a twisted ankle? What if her dad hadn't been unreasonable with her basketball coach? What if she hadn't been unreasonable when the doctors told her not to try to walk without her leg brace? And what if her mother hadn't been unreasonable when they told her that her baby girl would never walk again? We also learned there are 2 kinds of people in the world. One who will listen to the naysayers, one who will give up when things aren't fair, one who will not try, one who will accept things as they are instead of how they want them to be. And then there are the people like Wilma Rudolph, who believe in themselves, who will not listen to the prophets of doom, who will give their all to overcome whatever obstacle is thrown at them, and perhaps accomplish things that seem impossible and inspire us all. The question is, which one are you?